안녕하십니까, Muksa입니다. First of all, I'd like to say thanks to our senior pastor Im Songtae Muksanim and Pu Muksanim and all the ministers and all the church members of our Irsan Church for allowing me to serve in Irsan Church of Christ in English service till today. You are very kind to us and supporting us in many ways. And thank you very much for your concern and your love to my families and to me. And continually support us in your prayer. Now, I would like to have prayer request for Myanmar. Now, Myanmar is undergoing in a political crisis. First of all, let me give a brief history of Myanmar. 60 years ago, Myanmar was one of the richest countries in Southeast Asia. The land is very rich in natural resources. We have jewelry, gold, diamond, gasolines, and many other natural resources. So the country was very rich. However, the country was ruled by military junta for 60 years. During 60 years of the military rule, Myanmar was sunk into poverty. All the people, the civilians, were sunk into poverty. However, the military generals and their families and their relatives became rich and richer and richer because they hold all the country natural resources in their hands and they use for their own benefits. So during 60 years of the military rule, Myanmar was getting down, especially in education and economic and many other aspects. And there was no rule of law and order. The military generals are above the law. The military general can do everything they want. There is no court to judge them. So that was the situations during the 60 years of military rule. It is said that Myanmar was changed into democracy in 2010, but it was not the real change. Why? Because the military general made the country constitutions in 2008 and they applied the constitutions in Myanmar democracy. So this 2008 constitution is meant to maintain the power and the dictatorship of military in another forms, not in the military uniforms, not in the soldier forms, but in the civil forms. So the change is only the change of the uniforms, but the people are not changing and the country was not changed. There was only a little change. According to 2008 constitutions, 25% of the parliamentary seat were permanently reserved for the military generals. So this 24% seat, the military generals still control the country's sovereign power. In 2015, NLD Aung San Suu Kyi party won the election in landsliding. So NLD party was leading the country. Even though we say NLD party was leading the country, 25% of the parliamentary seat was controlled by the military, and the military still control the country's sovereign power. Therefore, even during the last 10 years of democracy, there was no rule of law and order in Myanmar. In 2020 November elections, Aung San Suu Kyi's party won again the elections landsliding. Since the result was happening not as the military expected, so they took the country's sovereign power, the military coup in Myanmar, on the first day of February 2021. All the people of Myanmar do not like military rule because they already experienced during the 60 years of military rule, we lived under the dark age and where the young people cannot make their dreams and their visions. So they don't want to go back to the bitterness and darkness of the dictatorship of military. Every cities, they protest against the military rule. However, when the military handle the strike or the protest, they make very brutal crackdown upon the people, and many people were arrested and many people were killed. Till yesterday, it was reported more than 722 people were already killed in Myanmar. The military soldiers are not humans. They are very brutal.
현지 시간 23일 미얀마 제2도시 만달레이에서 7세 소녀 킨 미오치 복부에 총상을 입고 숨졌습니다. 발포 당시 이 소녀는 집안에서 아버지의 무릎 위에 앉아 있었던 것으로 알려졌습니다. 14살 소년도 있었습니다.
Now, the people in Myanmar are not safe in any place. When they go on the street, if the soldiers and the police found them on the streets, they just shoot them without any reasons. And even they shoot the people inside their house. So no place is safe in Myanmar right now.
총격에 숨진 시민들, 이제 70명에 달하고 있습니다. 우리 정부가 미얀마의 최루탄과 군용물자 수출을 금지하는 등 대응 조치에 나섰습니다. 민주주의와 인권을 이유로 다른 나라에 제재 조치를 하는 건 이번이 처음인데요. 조효정 기자가 전해드리겠습니다.
3살 배기 아이의 아버지인 25살 친민뚜. 아내에게 미안하다는 인사를 마지막으로 시위 현장에 섰습니다. 결국 싸늘한 시신으로 돌아온 남편 앞에서 임신한 아내는 하염없이 눈물만 흘립니다.
라는 이유로 구급대원 여러 명을 끌고 와 마구잡이로 구타하는 경찰들. 믿기 힘든 범죄가 미얀마에선 매일 일어나고 있습니다. 군부의 유혈 진압이 계속되는 가운데 시위에 나가려던 딸을 아버지가 멈춰 세웁니다. 혹시 모를 위험에 혈액형과 연락처를 적은 겁니다. 불과 한 달 전만 해도 이렇게 두려운 순간이 올 거라곤 상상치 못했습니다. 하루가 멀다 하고 시위대를 향해 무차별 사격을 일삼는 군부에 맨몸으로 저항하고 있는 딸. 물가에 내놓은 어린아이처럼 걱정이 앞서지만 아버지는 그녀의 길을 막지 않았습니다. 시위에 참가하는 최우선 철칙은 안전입니다. 앞선 사망 사건들을 생각하면 누구든 피해자가 될 수 있다는 걸 이들은 알고 있습니다. 최루탄 발포로 시작된 진압. 현장은 순식간에 아수라장이 됐습니다. 자기 몸 하나 챙기기 바쁜 와중에도
충격적인 폭행과 살상 장면이 담겨 있습니다. 이미 경찰에 붙잡혀 아무런 저항 없이 걸어가는 시민에게 총을 쏜 뒤 쓰러진 사람을 질질 끌고 갑니다. 집안에 숨어서 시위 진압 광경을 촬영하는 시민에게도 마구 총탄이 날아옵니다. 미얀마 군병의 잔혹한 만행을 전 세계에 알린 이 영상들은 여러 시민이 온갖 위험을 무릅쓰고 휴대전화로 찍은 것입니다. 건물 폐쇄회로 TV에 찍힌 동영상도 적지 않습니다. 소셜미디어를 통해 전파되는 영상은 국제사회 여론 형성의 기폭제가 되고 있습니다.
သူ့ကိုလည်းတွားခဲ့တာလည်းရဲကသူ့ပြစ်တက်တယ်ကျွန်တော်ညီတကယ်တော့ကြည်စံထိရဆိုပေမဲ့သူကစိတ်မကူတာပဲနဲ့လမ်းပေါ်မှာ10မိနစ်15မိနစ်လောက်တွေ့
긴박했던 순간 쓰러진 동생을 도우려던 시민들에게도 총격이 이어졌던 겁니다.
အဲ့ဒါနဲ့ပဲ
미얀마 군병의 잔혹한 만행을 전 세계에 알린 이 영상들은 여러 시민이 온갖 위험을 무릅쓰고 휴대전화로 찍은 것입니다. 건물 폐쇄회로 TV에 찍힌 동영상도 적지 않습니다.
분들께서 오늘 전국 각지에 계신 분들이 다 오셨습니다. 특히 젊은 분들이 많이 오셨는데 아직 분노와 울분을 지금 금치 못하는 모습을 지금 볼 수 있습니다. 여러분 다시 한번 구호외치겠습니다. 살인마 군부독재 사과하자!
오늘 오후 오토바이를 탄 청년들이 구호를 외치며 거리 시위에 나섰습니다. 그런데 반대편에서 검은색 차량이 달려와 시위대를 다짜고짜 들이받습니다. 오토바이에 타고 있던 사람 중 한 명은 군부가 공개 수배한 20인의 민주화운동 지도자 중 한 명인 26살 외모나잉. 현지 언론은 군부가 외모나잉을 체포하기 위해 사제차를 동원해 일행을 들이받았다고 보도했습니다. 외모나잉은 사고 직후 군경에 체포된 것으로 알려졌는데 부상 여부나 행방이 아직 확인되지 않고 있습니다. 지난 5일 은신처에서 MBC와의 화상 인터뷰에 응해 한국의 도움을 청했던 외모나잉은 양곤 만달레이와 함께 투쟁의 거점이 되고 있는 북부 몽유아 지역에서 투쟁을 이끌어왔습니다.
The people have no weapons, no guns. They have only their voice. But unarmed people were brutally killed by the soldiers with, the machine guns. As soon as the military took the sovereign power of the country, NLD's party formed another government we call CRPH. Yesterday, Friday, 16th of April, CRPH formed an interim government we called NUG, National Union Government. National Union Government. By the leadership of National Union Government, we will fight back against the military regimes. We, Myanmar people, greatly owe to the Korean people and Korean government for supporting us in this pro-democratic movement from the beginning. The parliamentary ministers of the Korean government are standing on the street and standing together with the Myanmar people and fighting against the military coup. We are very much thankful to the Korean government, and we greatly owe to Koreans and Korean government. Because of the military coup in Myanmar, the people are suffering a lot. Because people are not going to work. They engage in CDM movement, civil disobedience movement. So the doctors, engineers, and government officers are not going office so that they can stop the government of military. Since they don't go to the office, they don't receive salary, payment. So they have very difficult conditions. And many companies will close and many work will close. So people all the people of Myanmar face a lot difficult conditions. Many people have no food to eat because of this political crisis. Please continually pray for Myanmar so that Myanmar will be changed into the real democracy within few days, within few weeks. Thank you very much to Ilsan Church of Christ for supporting us, supporting me and my family. And thank you very much for praying for Myanmar. Please continually pray for Myanmar. May God bless you all. Thank you very much.